I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark. Hi everyone, happy Scorpio full moon. Getting your readings posted up. Wanted to take a moment to let you know that the April Spring Special is still going on until the end of this month, until the 30th of April. So take advantage with this full moon reading. If you would like to get your ego soul reading, that is your Western astrology, your moon sign, your Sabian symbol, when you were actually born. All of that is really important because you want to see what actual phase the moon was in when you were born, and what is the vibratory frequency of your emotional state as it relates to your intuitive sense and your Vedic astrology. And so your Vedic astrology is going to look at that, as well as the nakshatra of your moon, which is going to really give you greater insight for these readings. So people are taking advantage of that. That's awesome. This is very important at this particular time. We're talking about Aries vernal spring season and this Scorpio full moon season, which is about this rebirth, this regeneration, so that we shed everything that's old, moving into the new. That being said, the energies for the particular celestial combinations and conjunctions and transits that are occurring now, that I'll go into a little bit in your reading. Of course, we focus on the lunar energies. And so generally for your collective celestial unconsciousness of your moon sign, we'll talk about it. But it's more of an upgrade now, I would say. It's more of an upgrade from who you have been and what you have been working with to manifest what your initiatives are, okay, from the Aries new moon wishes for the new moon in Aries that were just posted for the new moon reading. So if you want to go back and look at that, go to greatmotherspeaks.info underneath the vlog tab to see your suggested new moon readings from your new moon reading in Aries. We're going to follow that through to this full moon and look at what Great Mother is saying about the rebirth and regeneration that is occurring as a result of that seed being planted for you at this time. Now, they were suggested, and so you'll have your own new moon wishes, or you probably don't have any at all. If this is your first time watching Great Mother Speaks, we are looking at how we can experience our divinity as children of the Great Mother, Father, God, by utilizing the energies within us. We are made of stardust in order to always stay in the reality that we are dearly loved children of the Great Mother, Father, God, who are never condemned or left alone. That is often taken away from us when we especially experience alienation or estrangement from our birth mother. I specialize as a life coach in mama drama trauma. And so this channel is really designed as a supportive tool. It gives supplemental information and tips to my clients and people who may have mama drama trauma or love those who do. My particular brand of it is that I was born to a very loving woman, as all of us are. She expresses her love in various ways, which we see throughout the deck, the various gods and goddesses. We all have our own unique combination of energy as children of the Great Mother, Father, God, as my mother did. Excellent mother. The best. As an adult, I experienced a woman who developed a severe addiction to alcohol. And this is where the onset of my MDT took hold, okay, as an adult woman. And so I have had both worlds, and the individual that is my mother is a stranger to me. I don't know who that person is. I am open to healing that relationship as I have healed myself, and I have assisted others in healing their mama drama trauma. There may be closure in this lifetime, there may not be, but I am continually learning the lessons. And as it relates to this full moon in Scorpio, the rebirth and regeneration for me has had to do with upgrading my particular brand of loving detachment to being even more open to reconciliation. I don't feel that it will occur. There has been no indication of that other than in my interior space, Great Mother speaking to me that for my emotional health, balance, and clarity in my life moving forward, it's very important that I open my heart and expand my heart more to that possibility, as opposed to staying in the protective mode of, okay, I'm okay, I've accepted this is the reality, I'm moving on with my life. Okay, and so Great Mother continues to work with us throughout our lives. This is what I'm seeing with clients and readings that I've been doing about this full moon energy coming up. And so for your reading, you will get a recap on the suggested 5 wishes from the Aries new moon coming forward to this Scorpio full moon. I want to also let you know that Uranus is leaving Aries from its 7-year transit into Taurus on the 15th of May, which is also the new moon in Taurus. So this particular lunar cycle from Aries new moon to Taurus new moon is very, very important, because we're going to begin to have a real soul unction to seed what the desires we have been working on, how we have identified ourselves over the last 7 years. So again, just using myself as an example, how I've re-identified myself as someone who has survived MDT and now has been supporting others to live in loving detachment from their mother so that they can heal their own MDT. Now with Uranus moving into Taurus, it's about seeding that, planting that as a value in your life, and the financial benefits of that, the physical experience of that. Okay, I'm getting more interaction with people. For example, with the Mama Drama Trauma Support Group, you can go to the link on online bookings if you want to become a part of that. Anyone can be a part of that on Monday and Sunday and Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So much going on, see? And for you, it's probably a lot going on as well with this transition from Aries into Taurus. So I want to let you know that with that, even though Scorpio is in its full moon phase, your particular moon sign may be in its waning crescent phase or its balsamic moon phase. It may be in its first quarter moon phase during this lunar cycle from Aries new moon to Taurus new moon. Okay, Scorpio is in full moon phase. Okay, if you're Capricorn, you're waning crescent. You know, Sagittarius, well, a smaller waning crescent. You know, and et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm going to start talking about how those energies affect your reading, because I'm seeing through the readings that I'm doing that really also has a tremendous effect on present real-time issues, which is what we address each new and full moon reading. I also want to let you know that because this is the reading before Mother's Day, that I will continue the special for those of you who are mothers or who are experiencing mama drama trauma and want to have a reading, or you want to give the reading to someone who is wanting to heal their own mama drama trauma. So only for individuals who are interested in learning more about mama drama trauma does the Lunar and Great Mother Speaks reading special from regularly $85 and $65 to $50 extend from April 30th. So Mother's Day, I believe, is the second Sunday in May. Is it the second or first? Whatever Mother's Day is. Up until Mother's Day, you can still book for MDT related issues or questions in your life that you're wanting to heal as a Mother's Day gift from me to you. So with no further ado, these are your Scorpio full moon readings. Okay, Aries moon sign people, we are looking at the wishes that you had for the new moon in your sign. So we've just had a lunar new year for you, and you are still in a spirit of celebration as you enter into the balsamic moon phase of Aries this month, from the new moon in Aries to the new moon in Taurus. Your moon is balsamic when it comes up. during this particular period. And it really is talking about downloading new soul information. There was a cleansing out of the last lunar cycle into this one, and you embarked upon the path with Aries new moon wishes of not rushing results anymore, taking time to build foundations, loving patience and steady progress, saying the right words in order to communicate your true self, and determining priorities by staying focused on what it is you truly want. So these new moon wishes are very, very powerful, planting your lunar new year from your wishes in the Aries new moon. As we are coming to a culmination halfway through this lunar cycle with the Scorpio full moon, it is in your 8th house. Now, of course, this is a general reading. Your Aries moon sign may actually be in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd house. But what we're looking at here is the general collective unconsciousness of Aries moon sign people. Your emotional state is ruled by the planet Mars. It is not only a warlike planet, but it is the planet of initiative taking. So, of course, your Lunar New Year would reflect taking initiative in your life. Of course, it's going to embolden an internal sense of seed planting. But because at this particular phase, you are balsamic, it's more of a resting and recuperation from the tremendous seeding that you've already done. Now, of course, lunar new years go backwards, not from the waxing crescent, but they go into a waning crescent until the new moon of next year. Of course, the Aries full moon is in September, but from this new moon going into Taurus, there is a rest, there is a recuperation, because in the Western astrology for you with this Aries moon, you are the caretakers, the emotional host of Uranus for us right now in the final days, in fact, of this lunar cycle. On May 15th, Uranus will be moving into Taurus, which is where the sun is now. So another powerful period, but internally more so for you because of the balsamic energy with this Libra Scorpio full moon, Libra in the sidereal and Scorpio in the Western. So that I desire energy with the soulful energy of I balance. Your soul sidereal sign is Pisces. This Pisces moon is in the nakshatra of Chitra, a very headstrong energy, the universal architectural type of energy. But for you, again, this is more about redrafting your blueprint for your personal and professional relationships. So let's go ahead and look at this 8th house energy from a collective standpoint. We know we're talking about rebirth and regeneration. We know we're talking about your new moon wishes coming into full illumination. Of course, you want to keep your own new moon wishes that you resonated with, that you planted during the new moon in mind as you listen to this reading. Now, the sun is in Aries, Taurus, Aries in the sidereal, Taurus in the Western, in your 2nd house, which again is where Uranus will be moving. This is your values. This is what makes life worth living to you, what is important to you. And this is being reflected by the moon in the nakshatra of Bharani. The sun is in this energy of bearing the weight of other people's problems, bearing the weight of close family situations. And so
this rebirth, this rejuvenation from your lunar 8th house that is in Scorpio with this Taurus sun is telling us emotionally there may be some issues that you are cleansing right now, that you are allowing yourself to accept as they are, and allowing yourself to realize that all is well despite appearances. So if you've been working with the new moon wish of no longer rushing results, you may sense there is an issue. You may very much be in the crux of a family problem. But because this full moon card in your heart chakra, Sulis, the goddess who is the goddess that delves into the deepest depths of our emotional state and scales the emotions to bring up from the belly of the ocean to the shore what emotions serve us best. You're kind of balancing yourself with that. There's heart energy with that. You are being genuine and authentic with that. You are perhaps even with Mars being in Sagittarius Capricorn right now, which is where Saturn is in your 9th house, you're probably developing or taking initiative on some philosophies, some new ideas, some new concepts. You're probably teaching others or in your close family group that you may be having some challenges with. You may be sharing with them or through your own demonstration, as this is a heart chakra card, through your attitudes, a new way of being in the world. And they're observing that. You are bearing that weight. If you're not, there may be some feelings of vindictiveness due to these issues. There may be some tendencies toward manipulation in the situation, trying to manage the energies. But there certainly are some sudden flashes of brilliance that will be coming with this full moon. This is how you're approaching this full moon as it has come to illumination from your new moon wishes, that loving patience, making steady progress. We can see now that that has been an internal process within you. Mars rules Chitra, the nakshatra that the moon is in the sidereal in Pisces. And so you have a lot of Martian energy here that is giving you the wherewithal to stay the course of your new moon wishes. And with Saturn being conjunct Mars at this particular time in your 9th house, you are really bearing down, buckling down on what your spiritual beliefs really are, what your philosophical ideas really are as they relate to how you are living your life now, how you are moving forward now. It's really more of, 8th house does have to do with death, okay? So this is the Lunar New Year, and so the death of the old and all of that. But this is an energy for you, Aries moon people, of upgrading. You're really kind of upgrading who you already are into a more refined sense. And you have sense that it's going to take time to build this foundation, working with that new moon wish. And again, not, meditating over the new moon wishes, just kind of writing them down and just kind of making a mental, emotional note of what they are so that the soul space in Pisces for you, some of you will be Aries, but that soul space will be able to download things to you with great clarity. I'm seeing that the transformative opportunity for you with the Jesus card is that you do realize that you are receiving the downloads and the insights that you need from the law of soul guidance and guardian. And so you do have guidance coming in from your soul. All this 9th house energy that we're having here with Mars and Saturn, you do have with Jupiter in Libra Scorpio, which is where this moon is in now. It's conjunct, and so it's amplifying those 8th house energies of rebirth. It's amplifying amplifying the cleansing that has needed to take place from the new moon until now in order for you to actually feel that they have not only taken root, but you are sensing an awareness, an intuitive awareness of these issues either coming to the surface as they need to be or working themselves out on their own. You're not having to do much outside of the wishes. This is a huge cleanse for you. Don't overlook the fact that you are operating under the law of Divine Father. This is a double yang symbol, and wouldn't it be with all the Martian energy that you have here, Aries moon people? This is a powerful card. It's a third quarter moon card of release, of letting go. Great Mother does not want you to overlook the fact that you do have the maternal energy around you to support where you need to go and what you need to do. That maternal energy, in fact, coming from your soul, which is identified by the feminine symbol. You also have here in the center of the Mother Mary card, the gut chakra, which is ruled by Mars in the sidereal. And so you have Pisces in the sidereal, which is ruled by Jupiter. So again, this amplification with Jupiter conjunct the moon at this time in Libra Scorpio, really amplifying this cleansing and facilitating the release of what is standing in your way, possibly, of honoring the inner work to stay in real time with your desires. Now, it's indicated with the Inanna card that embracing the shadow may be what is needing to be released in terms of those shadows, those inconvenient truths, those things that we'd rather not share with other people or that we'd rather other people not know about us. Shadows are a wonderful thing when we work with them because it allows us to have the advantage of awareness. As divine children of the Great Mother, Father God, we do prefer awareness over ignorance because that is what empowers us to live our divinity. So if there is a shadow that is coming up with you, Aries Moon people, related to not being able to be patient with yourself, steady, and allow yourself to build the foundation that you need to progress toward what your internal goals are in terms of your rebirth and how you want to connect with people personally and professionally, how you want to communicate with people, saying the right words so that your true self is truly communicated. Those things are showing you that there may be some issues about a part of you you do not want to accept. And so let's look at that. If, for example, there's a resistance to taking the time you need to build a strong and steady foundation, there's a fear underneath that. And so what Great Mother is inviting you to do, Aries Moon people, is to look at what that fear could possibly be. Is it that you might lose time, you feel like you are wasting time, that you will fall behind on some things that you've already initiated, and so if you have to stop and really analyze and build a foundation going forward, you'll lose out? What else would cause you to feel resistance to taking the time to build the foundation that you need? Because Uranus is about to go into Taurus. And so, of course, Uranus rules Aquarius in the Western. And so this has to do with your unique soul genius in the world. It is not time bound. It transcends time. That's why it's associated with lightning, with sudden flashes of sudden events and disruptions and creativity and innovations and, even oil rigging and, because the oil shoots up all of a sudden. That type of energy is what has been really influencing you over the last 7 years. Uranus transits a sign 7 years. And so the latter degrees of every sign, and so we're in the 29 degrees now of Uranus and Aries, are the strongest degrees. And so you're feeling this very strongly. But by the new moon in Taurus, you're going to begin to feel a shift. And if you don't, certainly within the first 6 months of the shift until the Taurus full moon that we'll be having later on in November, you will certainly feel it by then. So what you are doing with the second house energy where the sun is now is prepping yourself for this. And so the sun is shining in where your values are. So look at what those fears could be. Is there a fear to having the loving patience towards yourself? And again, you can review these Aries new moon wishes at the vlog at greatmotherspeaks.info from your new moon in Aries last month. Those were posted. Those suggested new moon wishes are what I'm referring to here. We're going to follow through here and see what those fears are and ask the fear, why are you here when you're working with shadow energy? Why are you here, fear, that I don't have the time or I will lose something if I do this? Why are you here? Why are you telling me that I'm going to lose something? And the fear will speak to you. To come back in and say something like, well, because, you never follow through. And, I really do. I'm here to let you know that if you don't follow through with this, the result that you wanted from this is not going to be fulfilled. The gift of awareness is that when you follow through with the awareness, you might realize, oh, is that why you're here, fear? I don't even want that goal anymore. That is so 2 years ago. That is so 8 years ago. I have been through an emotional Uranus transit, and yeah, that's something I've been working on, but let me upgrade what I've been doing and what I've been processing and make it into what is meaningful to me in real time during this Scorpio full moon of rebirth and rejuvenation, which for you has a lot to do with rest and recuperation from the newness of this lunar year and downloading what you're processing. So this is another gut chakra card, processing with the law card of the Divine Father acting on what you've downloaded from Great Mother. And so processing that is in your shadow position. And so we see here with the shadow possibly being an issue for you as an impediment going forward with really trusting that things are coming together, that maybe that's because you haven't fully processed your experience yet. So be patient. That's why there are these lunar phases. You're in a rest and recuperation phase. That's what cleansing is for you right now. And so it's not all the answers yet. This is a new lunar cycle for you. You're just getting started, Pisces, Aries, Moon people. This is wonderful. So you're beginning to process the newness of this emotional space that you're in. And we see underneath Sulis, the wellness card, we have Baba Yaga, the wild woman. And Baba Yaga is here to let you know that you are dancing with an energy that definitely wants to express itself. All that Martian energy. You have the fifth chakra here. And this really has to do with you speaking your truth, with you saying what is important to you, despite what those fears could possibly be from that new moon period. So we were just looking at some of those new moon wishes, weren't we? And what some of those fears and shadows could possibly be. And the wild woman's coming through and she's saying, well, I'm going to express myself anyway. I'm going to create anyway. I am going to walk through that dark forest. I am going to see what's on the other side because I know my freedom lies there. I know my truth lies there. And so that's what you're dancing with. You were definitely in this heart above chakra energy from the heart chakra of Sulis with Baba Yaga here with the fifth chakra. And so you're working with your higher will, Pisces, Aries, Moon people. What Great Mother is saying, therefore, needs to be released is anything that is impeding your rebirth and regeneration through this rest and recuperation cleanse during this Scorpio full moon for you. Now, this is balsamic energy, and so it's really emphasizing, just as we see Dorothy here on her return home from her Wizard of Oz adventure, on the yellow brick road, that she's resting. She's recounting and communicating her experience with others, isn't she? As a divine expression, that fifth chakra, as her truth, as what is real for her, as what is authentic for her. This is what you are being reborn and rather upgraded into. Now, physically, if this is a challenge for you, it will be manifested as perhaps having some throat issues, maybe some neck issues, a lot of neck popping. Now, that is a general issue now with everyone being on smartphones. And so I want you to try to distinguish between you holding your head down. The head weighs 10 pounds. It weighs as much as a bowling ball. And holding it down like that all the time is creating all sorts of neck injuries and discomforts and things. And so try to, if that's your situation, maybe that's it. But if you are very consciously aware of that, or you don't hold your head down a lot and you were still having neck issues, it might be because of this blockage with this throat chakra, dancing with the wild woman and being afraid to dance with the wild woman, so to speak. And the wild woman always comes forward during that new moon, which is when she came forward for you with these new moon wishes to kind of reach beyond yourself and into yourself, to plant new seeds. And so new moon period and full moon period are planting periods. New moon for things that grow above the ground, full moon for things that are root tubers that grow under the ground. But they have their distinct productive phases and produce that emanates from these phases. You, from the new moon, were working with a lot of internal work that had to do with trusting the process, determining your priorities, staying focused and not rushing the results, but allowing a certain amount of vulnerability to come through for you, which is exactly what Dorothy did. And when she returned home, was able to share her journey with others in a way that definitely indicated she had done a lot of internal work. What's going to facilitate you in doing this with people, Pisces, Aries moon people, first and foremost with yourself, is really getting clear about what those values are. Again, you're moving from this full moon into a waning moon period, okay, when the collective consciousness from this full moon in Scorpio to the waning and the new moon then, dark moon again, in May on the 15th, when Uranus will be leaving you and will be stationing into Taurus. Well, actually just beginning to move into Taurus at that time, second house energy. You're going to be assisted with clarity on what your values are the more that you surrender to the process of your new moon wishes being fulfilled. Great Mother is definitely working with these energies with you, as we can see through this reading, and you are being reborn as you embrace your shadow and you work with awareness and you allow yourself to accept yourself as you are, knowing that there are challenges and things that you want to work with, but that you are also, with this Yemiya surrender energy, allowing the process to be facilitated through this cleanse of this Scorpio full moon. You have another heart chakra card. Now, the heart chakra is ruled by Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. In the sidereal, again, chakras, we're talking about sidereal Vedic astrology. Libra is where the moon is, okay? And so your Pisces and sidereal, and so Libra and sidereal is where the moon is now. That's still 8th house energy. It's just a sign back both ways. And this heart chakra is telling us that this Chitra Nakshatra, that is the star house that Pisces is traveling in during this full moon, is really telling us that your support with being headstrong and redrafting your blueprint for your personal and professional relationships is really being supported with this sun in Aries Taurus. So you have like this half and half energy. So you have the moon with the Pisces, heart chakra, and then you have the sun with the Aries and the sidereal that has that Mars energy. And so Mars energy here with the gut chakra and with the half of the sun which rules Chitra, is saying that you have it in you to initiate law of divine father, the surrendering that you need to fulfill your divine expression. So it's coming into fruition, it's coming into clarity. You are being buoyed by this celestial support. And the final outcome, therefore, is justice. The Mayat card, the Egyptian goddess who holds the scales. Now, this is another first quarter moon card. And so this is telling us that by the first quarter, this heart above energy that you are displaying, that you are fervently focusing on with this ninth house Mars energy, your philosophies, what guru you're following, what spirituality you're following, or that you're teaching to others, is really, really what is coming into focus for you. Maybe you're self-taught, maybe you're self-learning, but it's a real focus for you. The outcome here with all of this work that you're doing, Pisces, Aries, Moon people, is that there may be some sense that you haven't come far enough, some sense that you haven't done enough, some sense that you've put a lot of work into something and the outcome hasn't been what you expected it to be. But again, on an internal level, on a soul level, you will know that not to be true. What in actual fact will be true, as we see here with these first quarter, which is about taking actions based on a decision to face a challenge, is that you've just begun. You've just begun your lunar cycle, and you've just begun in earnest with high chakra energy, which is the most powerful seed to plant any season. The Sabian symbol in the Western astrology for this full moon is a fellowship supper reunites old comrades. A fellowship supper reunites old comrades. Who could those old comrades be for you, Aries Moon people? While you think about that for you, and of course you know best, might I suggest the Righteous Brothers song, Unchained Melodies, for you. I call this the anthem song for ego-soul alignment. Some of you may remember the song Reunited by Peaches and Herb many years ago. And when the ego and the soul realign, it's very much a soul song to the ego, like Unchained Melody, which is in a link below if you'd like to listen to it. And of course, if you would like your own moon reading or a Great Mother Speaks reading to get clarity about how to move forward in your Lunar New Year, please feel free to do so. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Great Mother speaks. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole. For more information about Mama Drama Trauma, visit mamadramatrauma.info.